Good morning, fourth grade families. It's so good to be back here with you today. I hope you all had a great spring break. I did. Got a little bit of a stormy, rainy day today. So what a better way to start the day than reading in your packets. There's plenty of reading. Looks like a great story today, and I'm going to help read that with you today. Today is NTI day number 21. If we were in class right now, the first thing we would do, of course, read silently, and I hope you are still reading other things besides your NTI packets. It's really, really important to keep reading. But I would be pulling sticks and saying, okay, tell me something from your break. And I'd say, tell me one thing. And you'd all say, oh, can I tell you two? Can I tell you three, please? And of course, I'd say, well, it was a whole week, so go ahead. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear what's been going on. Send me a message. Love to hear. Love to know what's going on. Hope you had a special day yesterday. We cooked. We always cook. You know, in this house, we're always cooking. So we had a great day with that and had a great break as well. And maybe I'll share more of that as we go this week. But today I don't want to go too long because I don't want to lose you as a listener. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Who'd ever think? Anyhow, so today we're going to look at our packet. We have a lot going on. Remember to always go through your checklist. Use this to guide you. Check the things off. That way you know you've completed everything that needs to be done. Today you'll be reading a story titled The Girl Who Loves Spiders. In math, you will be completing the Daily Common Core review and then working on a mini lesson on number sequences. There is a video that you can get into to help with that, or there is a attached paper that you can read about that lesson. The homework practice, and then there is another YouTube video to help additionally if you need it. Science, you're going to be reading Plants with Seeds. You're going to answer the 6 multiple choice questions and complete the open response on the answer sheet. There are several videos that will help with this. Definitely one of my favorite types of science. I guess I've told you that before. I've been spending a lot of time with seeds and plants and gardening and getting things going. So it definitely is one of my favorite things. PE, Health and Nutrition. You're going to choose and complete a Tabata workout following the directions. Complete the PE fitness calendar. Create your own game following directions provided. Get out there and do that kind of stuff today. So today we're going to start with The Girl Who Loved Spiders. Is that backward to you? It's funny. Lesson 26. I hate spiders. That's the first thing you should know about me. My mom and I just moved from New York to Florida. That's the second thing you should know about me. We moved because my mom got a new teaching job at a university here. Before we moved, my best friend Billy told me all kinds of creepy stories about spiders that live in Florida. My brother knows a guy from there who got bitten by a brown recluse spider, Billy said. This guy was smart about spiders, too. He shook out his shoes, he watched his step. His bite healed, but it was the worst. Mom has told me it takes 3 weeks to make a habit. It's only been about a week since we moved, but I've already made one. First thing every morning, I shake out my sneakers. Second thing, I put on my sneakers, though I'm still wearing pajamas. Third thing, I always watch my step. Hey, not 1, but 3 new habits. I blame them all on Billy. I find Mom in the kitchen drinking a glass of orange juice. You're awake, Louis. It's the crack of dawn. Too hot, Mom laughs. It's summer. Aren't those winter pajamas? Don't tell her that flannel is better protection from spiders. Over breakfast, Mom discusses her plan for the day. It's the same as yesterday's. Unpack and settle in. Oh, Mom sits up straight in her chair. I found a dead scorpion yesterday. It was in perfect shape, not a leg missing. Fascinating, really. I saved it in case you wanted to see. I gulp. No thanks. Great, venomous spiders and scorpions, Mom shrugs. Okay, so what are you up to? TV? Mom frowns. There's always the trampoline, I mutter. Mom bought the trampoline the day after we arrived. It's as big and bouncy as can be. Something I always wanted that Billy had. I just wish Billy were here now to teach me how to do a flip. Not even 8:30 in the morning and I'm on the trampoline again. Every jump takes me higher and higher. In midair, I see her, 2 yards over, a girl about my age. I keep jumping. The girl kneels before a bush in tall grass where all kinds of biting and stinging things might be. She stays very still. Next jump, I see something in her hands. A pink ball? Jump higher. The girl clasps the ball. Poof! A white cloud explodes from between her fingers. I collapse onto the trampoline and scramble down. This I have to see. As I entered her yard where the grass was taller, I freeze. The ball in the girl's hands is a rolled up sock. A camera dangles from a strap around her neck. She carefully settles the sock on the grass. When she raises the camera and peers through it, I look where she's looking, at a delicate shape against the bush's leaves, like lace against green velvet. The shape is a gigantic spider web, whitened by whatever the girl clapped from the sock. Photographs sometimes make spiderwebs more visible by dusting them with cornstarch. I didn't know that. Not all spiders make their homes in webs. Some dig burrows. Yikes! I yell at the sight of the web. The girl cries out, surprised, and falls into the web. She springs up, web clinging to her. What's the big idea? She shouts. I was warning you. Guess you don't know about brown recluse spiders? Of course I do. I've been trying to find one. They're shy, like arachnids. Like most arachnids. I found rarer breeds, even the burrowing wolf spider. Still haven't tracked down a brown recluse. She points at the bush. That was a common orb weaver. I've been watching her for days until she got her web just right. The girl glares. It sure was pretty, until you came along. Who are you, anyway? Louis, I just moved here. My name is Ashanti. Welcome to the neighborhood. She still sounds mad. I cross my arms over my chest. So you're on a spider safari? Why? This summer, my goal is to photograph 100 spiders. I've always loved folk tales about Anansi, a true Spider-Man. Spiders are cool. I don't think before I say, no, they aren't. Spiders are disgusting. At that, Ashanti stalks away. That afternoon, Mom drives me to a park. Never mind the heat, she says. There'll be boys your age. There's a decent playground, but a sign reads, beware of snakes. Where there are snakes, there must be spiders. Ashanti would be in heaven. As for me, there are no boys my age. 2 little girls sweated out on the slide. Mom wilts on a bench. We drive home. As we turn onto our street, we see Ashanti crouching by a flower pot in her front yard. A woman kneels beside her. To my horror, Mom stops the car and gets out. Mom and Mrs. Smith, Ashanti's mom, hit it off. Mrs. Smith teaches at the university, too. Mr. Smith works at the alumni office. Ashanti and I might be in the same 5th grade class. Ashanti just found her first colorful crab spider. Mrs. Smith says it's the 50th spider she's photographed for her collection. Mom and Mrs. Smith keep talking. Ashanti photographs her spider. I trace circles in the dirt. Then Mrs. Smith asks Mom and me over for dinner. Mom agrees. Yippee. Ashanti rolls her eyes. She's not exactly thrilled either. Many crab spiders use camouflage to catch their prey. At 6 o'clock, we're standing on the Smiths' front door. Ashanti opens the door, and soon we sit down to dinner. The Smiths and Mom talk and laugh. Ashanti and I dig into our lasagna. Soon my plate is empty. So is Ashanti's. She gives me a cautious look. Want to see Anansi? She says quietly, so as not to interrupt the grown-ups. I shrug. I guess. Ashanti smiles a little. Come on. We go into the family room. African artifacts cover 3 of the walls. Masks, instruments, weavings, and paintings. A large bulletin board hangs on the 4th wall. About 50 photographs of spiders are mounted there. I take a deep breath and go over to the board. I've got to admit, some of the spiders look pretty cool. Ashanti points at a painting and says, "That's Anansi." I move closer to see a powerful-looking spider standing upright, flexing 6 of its 8 legs. The spider has a man's face and 8 eyes. Some legends say that Anansi created the sun, stars, and moon. Nice guy, huh? Shanti smiles. He also could be tricky and greedy. In one story, he tries to keep all wisdom for himself. Suddenly, Mrs. Smith calls from the kitchen. Ashanti, quick! You've got to see this! Ashanti turns and runs from the room with me at her heels. Mr. and Mrs. Smith are peering at a baseboard. Ashanti presses close. Brown recluse, Mrs. Smith whispers. Ashanti gasps in excitement. She grabs her camera and adjusts the setting. Mom holds me back, although Mrs. Smith reassures her that the spider won't hurt you if you don't hurt the spider. Just don't brush up against it. Ashanti knows what to do. Ashanti knows what to do, Mom, I say. Ashanti glances at me, surprised, and smiles. Then she adjusts the zoom on her camera and snaps the picture. 51, she exclaims. Later, after Mr. Smith has caught the venomous spider on a glue trap, Ashanti tells me that there's an interesting-looking web woven through my trampoline's net. I spotted it today on one of my safaris, she says, grinning. I want to photograph it. Stop by tomorrow if you want, I say. It'll be early in the morning. That's the best time. I'll probably be awake. Just don't be bouncing, okay? You might wreck it. I don't want to do that, I say. I want to know which spiders live in my yard. Boy, won't Billy be surprised. I'll be able to teach him a thing or two about spiders when he comes to visit. The brown recluse spider has 6 eyes. The end. Wow, a lot to talk about there. Brown recluse spiders, Anansi tales. Anansi tales are fabulous tales about that trickster Anansi. So I hope you enjoyed the story. Tomorrow when you get ready to answer questions along with it, remember, an active reader will read it again. Ask questions. Mark the text. Mark it. Use your pencil. Underline. Star. Circle. That'll help you when you're answering the questions. But read it again. Very important. Okay. The last thing I do want to do is I do want to read your Classifying Living Things article titled Plants with Seeds. So go ahead and turn to that page. You notice you have your main title, Plants with Seeds, but then you also have subtitles or subheadings, and that helps to organize this. You know, it's an informational writing by that organization alone, and it helps you with that. Today you're going to be Plants with Seeds, and the 2 subtitles include fruit-bearing plants and cone-bearing plants. So let's see what they tell us. A seed is a plant part from which a new plant can grow. A seed is made up of a young plant called an embryo and stored food enclosed in an outer coating. Seeds are found in fruits and in cones. Plants that form seeds are classified in 2 groups: flowering plants, such as orange trees, and cone-bearing plants, such as pine trees. Many of the plants you know form seeds in flowers. Flowers are reproductive structures. The male part of a flower forms pollen, a powdery substance that contains the male reproductive cells. The female part forms eggs, female reproductive cells. Seeds form in a flower after pollen lands on the female part of the flower. A male reproductive cell from the pollen and an egg join. As the seed forms, the part of the flower holding the seed changes and becomes a fruit. A fruit is the part of a flowering plant that contains and protects the seed. Cone-bearing plants. Most cone-bearing plants have both male and female cones. Male cones produce pollen. Wind may carry this pollen to a female cone. There, the male reproductive cells in the pollen may join with an egg. After the cells join, they form a single cell. This cell divides several times and develops into a seed. Cone-bearing plants include pines, firs, spruces, redwoods, junipers, hemlocks, ginkgos, and cycads. I'm not sure how to say that. When cones first form, they are fleshy and tightly closed. In time, the scales on the cones open to release pollen, or to allow pollen to enter. Seeds develop between the cone scales. The seeds do not have an outer covering. As the seeds develop, the cone dries out and becomes woody. The scales open more, and seeds are released. Now, a good idea, read it again after you read over the questions. Read all the questions, just the question, and the open response, and reread your passage. Mark it. Find those things that you need for there. Okay? Noticing on your open response, you have a part A and a part B. Compare fruit-bearing, it says, hint, review the article about fruit-bearing plants and cone-bearing plants. Compare fruit-bearing plants and cone-bearing plants. Describe how fruit-bearing plants and cone-bearing plants are the same. Describe how they are different. Answer this question. Suppose you are walking in a park and you see a tree like the one shown above. How would you know whether it is a fruit-bearing tree or a cone-bearing tree? It's a good question. Remember, if you use, and I highly recommend you start off by using a Venn diagram, and we've talked about those. We did a lot of compare and contrast the other week. Use your Venn diagram to get your information organized. And then when you're ready to answer the question, take that information, turn it into sentences, and make sure you go back and read after you've written everything, and reread the question and ask yourself, did I answer the question? Okay. Don't just give a Venn diagram. That's a tool. That's just a tool for you to use to organize your information. Take that information and write your answer out in sentences. Okay, looks like you're going to have a great day. Great information, exciting stuff. I hope you're interested in this stuff as much as I am. I love plants, love life. I think we've talked about this, life science a lot. So, get ready, get back on your schedule. It's really important to get up, get dressed, make your bed, get on a schedule. Be sure to take breaks in between subjects in your packet. Okay, don't try to cram it all in at one time. Take a break. Okay, stretch it out. This is about learning things. Take it to another level. Go outside. See if you can identify the different trees. Find a fruit-bearing tree. Find a cone-bearing tree. Look at them. See what you can discover. Okay, and maybe if you really want to get into it, get online and look up some Anansi tales and read about that trickster. It's a great time. All right. Well, I hope you have a fabulous day. If you need anything, I'm home. Give me a call, email me, whatever you need to do. I'm here. I've called every home, so every parent has my phone number on their phone, I'm sure. Don't be afraid to call me, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.